Testing. Good evening, everyone. All right. Honey, I already told you I took that command down. You cannot use it. Hopefully you guys can hear me in the game okay. I'm getting back to my OBS. Where is that? Okay, here we go. So, why is this not showing anything? Okay, what the heck is going on? Okay, I do not know why my screen is not showing. Okay, hold on a second. Why is this not... Okay, I don't get this. It was showing just a minute ago. And now it's not. What the... Hold on. That. I'm gonna be pissed here in a second. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My husband came in here and kind of stated the obvious. Okay. Why is this not working? I'm sorry, guys. Please bear with me. Setting. Stream, that's good. Output. Okay, so let me check here. Razor. That's all set right. Okay, that screen's coming through fine. Nope, that doesn't help. Sorry about this, guys. I am trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Okay. Hey, Lavender. Before I started stream, I could see my Switch screen in OBS, but now I can't. Okay. Can I help you? Well, Salem's come to say hi. Oh, if nothing else, we can at least chit chat. Okay. What the bleepity bleepity bleep 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 is going on? Zuzu, we do have alert command, by the way. Okay. Google. Why is my... Okay, yes, I've done correct. Cables are done. Proper USB connection. Yes, that is done. Audio input capture according to Razer. Okay. Okay, Ripshaw. Yep, that's what I got it figured as. Custom device default. Ah, there we go. Yes, we're in business. So we're gonna go try to get the bear and the leech today. So I'll see if I can get my controllers in the right hand. I think we're gonna go try for the bear. And if we can get past those two and onto the second set, I'm gonna be happy with that. So we're gonna go try for the bear in the forest. Apparently, OBS changed one of my settings and yippee. So I am streaming tomorrow, guys. I figured I'd at least tell you that much. I am streaming tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming around 11:30 a.m. and I will be playing Sims Crossing. And basically what that is, oh yeah, Pip, it took me a while to figure out what to do too. I used a lot of Google help when I first played the game. But what Sims Crossing is an Animal Crossing challenge in The Sims. Oh, hello there. Sorry. I think I managed to get most of the debris off the road. Looks like you've made a fine wreck. What on earth happened to your cart? Yes, well, you see, I was sent on a very important mission by the order of the captain, the Bear. The Bear, you say? What sort of mission? It's my job to make sure the lakeshore camp is well stocked with provisions, but most importantly, a steady supply of honey for the bear's favorite mead. I was on my way back from the apiary with a cartful when a deer or something darted out of nowhere. I am dyslexic, I cannot read. Jostled my poor mule so bad that she broke her bridle and ran off. My own heart nearly leapt out of my ribcage. Piled the cart right into the ditch, she did. That's okay, Pip. You can always rewatch it some other time. Now every barrel is smashed and I can't bring myself to report back empty-handed. The bear will have my guts for garters. I'm sure of it. This bear sounds quite the brute. Oh, you don't know half of it. If he doesn't get his honey mead, heads will roll. Maybe you could lend me a hand. I can't very well put this broken cart back together. No, nothing like that. But could you take a message to the sergeant of the Lakeshore camp? He's a reasonable fellow. Let him know what happened, and maybe he can get me out of this bind. You can get to the Lakeshore camp if you follow the road to the northwest of here. I need to stay with the cart and assess the damages. Oh dear. Okay, so we are now on the bear. I think it's over here. Lakeshore Path. Yeah, it's a lot of running back and forth. I will say that much, especially on the last 4 souls. You're going to do a lot of running back and forth between all the realms. Hey, where do you think you're going? Dingus and Dongus. I love the names. I play this in like 5th or 6th time playing this game, and I've never noticed their names were Dingus and Dongus. Yeah, but no one but us soldiers are allowed inside the Lakeshore camp. Get out of my way. I have an urgent news for your quartermaster. I need to speak with your sergeant. Urgent? Only thing that's urgent is the line for the latrine, or if the captain hasn't had his drink. That's right. Captain Bear is a right foul mood. You can't come in unless you want a good thrashing. The guard almost has to shout over the clattering din coming from inside the camp. You heard him. It's dangerous in there. Wouldn't have the heart to let a frail old granny like you near the beast. The one guard turns to the other with a conspiratorial shrug. Yeah, but who are we to say what's good for her health? Oh, yeah, you're right. We might be convinced to look the other way if we was fairly compensated. Right, fairly compensated, of course. We'd be sticking our necks out after all, and so we're going to go ahead and bribe the guards with 3 gold coins. You carefully press 3 heavy gold coins into the palm of the waiting guard. There, I expect that you two can divide them evenly amongst yourselves. Right, 1 for you and 2 for me. What? You mean 2 for me and 1 for you? I'm the one who does all the real guarding around here. You still owe me for that game of dice you lost. You cheated me, give me them coins. The 2 guards fall into fisticuffs and roll into the bushes, leaving the gate to the camp wide open. Idiots. Oh, that's off. As you cautiously approach, the bear drains the last of an enormous tankard and smashes it against the head of a nearby soldier, knocking the hapless man to the ground. And then I wallop him just like that. So next time I catch any of you cowards turning tail, I'll skewer you like a fish and leave your guts for the gulls. Suddenly noticing his drink was gone dry, the bear bellows to the skies. More mead, you yellow-bellied worms, more drink, more delicious honey mead. The soldiers taking cover nearby exchanged nervous glances at each other, none wanting to confront the bear. There is no more mead. The bear wipes a strand of drool from his sagging lips, and his bleary eyes slowly focus on you. A mocking smirk splits his face as he waves at you with a great spiked mace. Say now, that's a funny-looking helmet, soldier. I ever tell you the time I crushed the bucket-headed barbarians of the Western Mountains? You decide that now is a good time to leave the bear to his ramblings rather than make yourself an unfortunate prop in his warside stories. The bear kicks an empty tankard at you as you retreat into the camp. That's right. Go get me more mead, you good-for-nothing slaggard. Yeah, see, that's you. I also want to get your... Okay. Take cover. He's not the one I want. Okay, there's the one I want to talk to. First thing. Oh, get back here, you. Thank you. The frantic-looking officer shouts hurried orders at whoever will listen, but most of the camp soldiers are busy cowering or knocked out cold. Man the gates, you over there. Secure the perimeter. We just need to hold out a little longer. Sir, we're running out of men. Where's the damn shipment of honey? You step over an unconscious footman to address the man in charge. I might be able to answer that question. Hey, Poppy! Oh. Poppy here. I can do this. Who let this old bat in the camp? I found your quartermaster. He's having a bit of cart trouble on the road. I'm afraid your shipment isn't going to get here any time soon. What? Oh, curse my rusty breeches. Without that honey and other supplies, we can't make the honey mead. The bear is going to flatten the whole camp when he finds out. The camp looks half flattened already. What's all this ruckus about? Well, the bear is the greatest warrior there ever was, which is grand and all when we're fighting the enemy, but once we set up camp, he likes to use his poor saws as playthings to reenact his conquests. The only thing that bear loves as much as fighting is drinking. Guzzles up so much honey mead, we have to brew it right here in the camp just to keep up. He points to a squat-looking device tucked near some tents, a portable brewery. Without that shipment of ingredients, I don't see how we can ever calm the bear down. He'll smash us all into paste before the sun sets. Let me take a look at the brewery of yours. If the bear is so in love with brawling and boozing, then perhaps it's about time he received a dose of his own medicine. Okay, so we need to determine what the brewery needs. You inspect the brass contraption, a tank here, a hopper there. A bitter smell of alcohol is infused into the well-worn metal. Despite the needless, complicated dials and tubings, at the end of the day, the brewery is really just a fancy cauldron. This seems simple enough. I should be able to concoct just the potion for your troubles. And you know what's really bad, Poppy? You just did that, and I realized I wasn't on live chat. The rattle sergeant shrugs his shoulders at you. Sure, if you think it'll help, but you'll need the fuel darn thing first. Our supplies are a mess, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. You open the brewery to inspect its complicated innards. What do we need? Oh, got the twigs. You snap kindling into pieces and scatter it into the bottom compartments of the brewery. You should be fuel enough for the job. Okay, what do I need now? I need 5 jugs of water and a cinder box. So, do I have enough things to make a cinder box? Yep. And I do not have any water. Nope. And I don't have any jugs either. Wait. I have no jugs. Okay. And I need to find some more. Okay, I gotta go get those soot sprites before they vanish. I don't know why, but I gotta go get the soot sprites. Okay. Let's go find some water. I will say, whoever is going to play this game, every time you see something on the ground that you can pick up, pick it up. You pretty much have unlimited pocket space. I was curious, what's... Wow. Didn't realize it was almost 11:30 where you guys are at. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna try talking Todd into helping me, seeing if the switch I have is moddable, since it was his at one time. I'm gonna have to send him those videos since we're off for the next few days. He might be able to check it out and see if it is. What's in here? Thing of blood and medicine, yay! Okay, that makes the cutest noise. Boing 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 boing. Okay, you slosh cool, clear water into the brewery's main tank. Not the best base for potion brewing, but you want to preserve that honeymoon flavor. And we add the cinder box. With the heat of the cinder box, you set the stove chamber of the brewery alight. It'll bring the tank to a roiling bubble. Okay, of course I'll need honey for the mead. That quartermaster said he was coming back from apiary in the field, so I best try there. Then I'll need a proper magical binder and a token of the bear to seal the spell. Something in this camp ought to do the trick. The frothing basement brewery stands ready for the right ingredient. Okay, so I need honey, a metamorphosis elixir, and a torn teddy bear. Okay. So, let's go get the honey first. Same here, Poppy. I think I'd rather mod the old Switch than get the new one. I'm waiting on the new one until there's a new Animal Crossing. And then and only then will I start saving up for one. Heidi ho, I'm afraid we're closed for the season. Close, but I need some of your honey right away. Sorry, our supply was cleaned out just a little while ago. Funny little man with a cart. You just missed him. Yes, I've met him. He's the quartermaster of the bear. But he had a bit of an accident on the road. I need to collect some more honey for the lakeshore camp. The bear? Well, that explains why the quartermaster purchased so dang much. I heard that lumbering bully would steal the nectar from a larva if it suit him. My poor bees have already worked themselves to death for that order. I don't have any honey left. I wish I could do something to help you, but the only honey left in the entire apiary is Her Majesty's personal reserve. Her Majesty? Why, my sweet spring flower, the jewel of my crown, the golden sun of my... Yes, yes. Get on with it. My beloved queen, as lovely as she is wise and resides over her flowered kingdom. A shrill voice pierces the meadow and sends chills down your spine. Slave, where is my dinner? I order you to bring me the finest sunflowers. Right away, my love. And make it pretty this time. I don't want another one of your dandelion bouquets like some common wasp. Yes, my sweet. I think I had better have an audience with the queen myself. The regal insect looks down her curled nose at you scornfully. That fool beekeeper was supposed to stop the rabble from trampling my delicate garden. Good help is hard to find, isn't it? And I suppose you've come to lend a hand? No, I don't think so. What do you want, little beetle? You seem like a very busy woman, so I won't waste your time. I need honey. Your best honey. She tilts her long neck back and lets out a buzzing laugh. Ha! Do you think I simply give my carefully cultivated riches to just any commoner? Do you have any idea how much time and energy is spent managing this colony? Everyone always wants something, but no one ever wants to work for it. In a rustle of petals, the beekeeper comes running over, holding out an assortment of beautiful prairie flowers. My darling sweetheart, I offer you the finest meadow flowers. I hope you find these to your liking. Is this marigold, you wax-brained fool? You know I despise this stuff. How many times must I repeat myself? Get out of my sight, all of you. My love, I almost said my lung. Okay, I am reading things wrong today, left and right. My love, I wronged you. Let me try again. You follow the beekeeper a short distance away while he busies himself picking more flowers. She seems to be in a foul mood. Does she always treat you like this? Well, yes, but it's really usually my own fault. Sometimes when she really gets her venom up, a little smoke and soothing herbs calm her right down. Smoke, you say. I'm sure I could come up with something to even her mood. And royal incense. What do I need? I need that. I need witch spice and a sporific potion. And I need a jar of water for the sporific potion. And witch spice, I can make that right now. I am gonna go get some water. I knew I should have done one more. And while I'm here, I'm gonna look at this here real quick. Look at this. Okay, got that. So I can do the incense. You sneak. Do you honestly believe that your little puff of achoo smoke can... The queen fans herself lightly as the world begins to push and pull around her. Whoa, does anyone else feel a little hot? Anyways, as I was saying, you can't just... The sparkling sun bears down on the queen like a warm summer's embrace. Look at all these beautiful colors. Have they always been so bright? Somebody is high. The queen bee stretches her arm across a sea of flowers, brushing the tips of their petals gleefully. She arcs her limbs through the myriad of colors swirling about in her head. It's gorgeous. Oh, and what's that delicious smell? Cracking into the waxen walls of her hive, the queen pulls out a golden honeycomb. She proceeds to messily stuff the honey into her face. Delectable. Oh, it's so good. You simply have to try some, my dear. I've never tasted anything so delicious in my life. She offers you a sticky handful. Why, thank you, my queen. And we got the honey. Okay, so now what do we have left to do? Investigate the bear's tent. I love watching this character run on her little chicken feet. If you look closely at her feet, she literally has chicken feet. Not sure how to zoom in on my Switch, so... Right. Not what I wanted to do. Ah! Hitting the wrong buttons. Through the open tent flap, you catch a glimpse of pillaged trinkets and treasures scattered about the spacious interior. You surmise that one of the precious objects might contain enough magical essence to use as a token of the bear. Your eyes have only a moment to linger upon the giant fur-lined bed before a hand pulls the door flap shut. The sergeant gives you a disapproving glare as he ushers you away. Hey, you can't go in there. This is the bear's personal tent. You know the kind of hell that would break loose if he finds out someone's been snooping. Don't worry, I'll be careful. It seems like your men are keeping him distracted anyways. You glance over at the bear as he tosses aside a soldier like a sack of potatoes. No way, no how. If you think that's as bad, just wait until he finds out there's no more honey mead. Humph. If you're so afraid of stomping brute, why don't you just slip away in the night? Surely it would prolong your life a little. And abandon all my friends? We're soldiers. We soldiers gotta stick together. It's our only chance. If only there was a way to stand up to the bear. A thought seems to cross the sergeant's mind as he notices the potions and bowls hanging from your belt. Say, you're good with the magical doodads and what's-its, right? What if you made me some sort of protective talisman or charm? Then I could maybe have a chance against the monster without getting my head stowed in. If I make you a protective talisman, will you let me into this tent? I suppose I wouldn't have much worry about it if you did. Okay, so now we need to make a protective talisman. Where the heck is that sucker? And I need... We'll do that one first, because I know I have the stuff for that one. Okay. Blue. I need cow juice. Do I have... Okay, so I need to make another shower. And let's go find cow juice. Like I said, this game is a lot of back and forth, isn't it? And now let's go back to the field and get the cow. Thankfully, the cow is right next to the entrance, so that's a good thing. Hey, hon. Did you get it? Cool. I forgot. What is it that I sent you for?
I went to get cable ties.
Oh, that's right. Forgot I sent my husband for cable ties. Our no trespassing sign fell down. If I make... Okay, I thought I made it. I did all the parts, but exit. Poppy says hey.
Cool. But you might need a few.
Here, this ought to shield you from harm for a time. He grins nervously as he puts the charm around his neck. Then he clobbers himself in the face with his own fist. Wow, you weren't kidding, haha. Though that's nowhere near the kind of punishment the bear can dish out. I better find some more stuff to test it out with, then I'll give that bear a piece of my mind. He stumbles off into the camp to find other objects to try against his newfound protection, leaving the bear's tent unattended. Okay, I love my husband. He just bought me a box of Whopper candy. Malted milk balls. We have meaty morsels, an empty jug, and a teddy bear. I got everything I need. Yeah, he said he'll be in chat here in a minute. Okie dokie, here we go. The brine case is ready for okay. Honey? Went a little too fast on that one. You ladle out a good portion of the withering tar-like substance into the brewery. To be safe, you add a little bit more, just for texture. And a teddy bear. You pause before dropping the tattered plaything into the brewery. A glint in its button eye reminds you of something, but the thought soon evaporates from your mind. You overturn your palm, and the stuffed bear splashes into the concoction. It floats sadly for a moment before becoming waterlogged and disappearing under its surface. Aww. Poor teddy bear. Have a good lurk, Pip! With the addition of the final ingredients, the brewing equipment is sealed and set to work. Steam hisses from rivets, and its swollen metal belly clanks and rattles. Before long, the waggling fingers of the gauges and dials settles down, indicating that the brew is complete. You give it a quick sniff test and recoil at the sickeningly sweet vapors. You push an empty wooden keg under the contraption spigot and crank the release valve. The brewery strains under the pressure and fills the keg with chunky, oozing fluid. Maybe not the finest honey mead around, but hopefully the great raging galoot won't stop to notice the difference. Take the keg. Ooh. Any other? Nope, no more. I think I already did this one. Yep, okay. Ah, Captain, I brought you more honey mead. The bear swipes the tankard with his massive paw and tosses the contents into the slavering maw without hesitation. He licks his chops, savoring the peculiar flavor. With a sudden jerk, he bears down on you with suspicion. Say, this tastes kind of funny. What did you do, soldier? It's a new recipe. I thought you might enjoy something with a little bit more sting in it. You know I hate new things. I'll teach you to mess with my favorite brew, you hayseed. The bear is upon you with frightening speed. He raises the huge mace in his paw skyward, and you brace yourself for impact. With an equal measure of speed, the sergeant leaps between the crashing mace and your head. You peer through your fingers as a great clang resounds through the camp. The bear roars furiously as his blows is magically repelled from the sergeant's talisman. The mace goes spinning out of his paw and falls into the lake with a great splash. He gapes, dumbfounded, as the sergeant stands before him completely unharmed. Ha, that'll teach you to pick on us, you big oaf. This has been a long time coming. The sergeant wags his fingers at the bear. Oh, hun, you know dang well we don't like to behave here. What's the fun in that? Who do you think you are, huh? You think you're so big and tough with your fancy feather hat and your big honkin' club? Well, look at you now. The camp soldiers gather to witness in stunned awe. Miraculously, the bear seems to shrink in the face of the sergeant's onslaught. If it was up to me, you'd be dishonorably discharged for your disorderly conduct. You disgrace to the uniform. You're no captain of mine. With fear welling up in his eyes, the bear shrinks and shrinks until he's reduced to the size of a small cat. And another thing, what's happening? In place of the bear's drunken grimace is the stitched smile of the dolls again. Two button eyes stare back at the disapproving faces surrounding the little plush toy. The sergeant takes a step back to reveal the small-shaped of a stuffed teddy bear where the brute once stood. Your transformation potion has finally done its work. Gee, I guess I overdid it. He scratches his head in befuddlement, but seems genuinely relieved. Hey, Sarge, I guess that means you're in charge now, right? Oh, yeah, I guess it does. Well, what are you all standing around for? The camp's a mess. Let's get to work. You pick up the diminutive doll and brush some of the sand out of its fur. As you inspect it further, its head lolls to face you. Far within the glassy surface of its button eyes, you barely make out a tiny crimson flame, the trapped soul of the bear. This ought to be what that old goat is after. I hope he's happy. Okay. Okay, so all we need is the leech, which we kind of started the last stream, but I was in the middle of another one, so I didn't do anything with it. So we have to... Alright, Lavender, have fun. See you when you get back. Visit the sick house west of the swamp. Swamp is up here. Yep, swamp. Before I go any further, I need to make some stuff here. Not what I wanted to make. Don't need any of that one here. And getting away from that thing. I'm gonna need some more frog stuff, so... Does that look scary? Okay. Not there. Okay, here it is. That's the house. Hold on now. This is a sick house full to the brim and festering with disease. Don't you know there's a deadly plague going on around here? Do I have an unlurk? I should have an unlurk button. I will have to create an unlurk. A plague, you say? This is the first I've heard of it, and I'm going to write that down before I forget, because I know my memory. UNLURK. Okay. That will be there by tomorrow's stream. Oh, it's a very terrible. It affects the young and the old, the healthy and the infirm alike. We're so swamped with patients I can barely catch my breath. So what are you going to do? So what are you doing out here? Shouldn't you be tending to the ill? We've got so many bodies piling up, someone has to bury them before they spread sickness further. She drops her voice to a whisper, looking ashamed. It's gotten so crowded that I've had to dump some in the swamp. That seems unethical. Ah, but don't worry, the leech is inside working her miracles on the other patients. They couldn't be in better hands. The leech? That's the doctor of this place? The best in the land. I don't dare think about how much worse it would be without her skills. I need to speak with her. I'm checking up on someone who came through here. Sorry, I cannot in good conscience allow a person of your, years to enter such an infectious place without a proper inoculation. But with all the patients, we're low on medicine, and I'm afraid I don't have any to spare. Bah, what a simple booster shot made from anyways. There's plenty of medicinal ingredients right here in the swamp. I'll go get them myself. Well, it's a pretty basic prescription. If you bring me the components, I'll be able to mix and administer it. Then you can go inside. I'll need 3 milligrams of bug ichor extract, 5 grams of toxic thistle powder, and some lazy grass to numb the pain. I have everything but the bug. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, got everything I needed. That was easy. You snap up a few shiny, spiny thistles and pass them to the nurse. She is careful not to prick herself on the sharp ends. Okay, and the lazy grass. The nurse takes the dried grasses you have been so careful to keep intact and immediately crushes them into powder. The nurse nods at you, gathering all the ingredients into a small hand-sized mortar. You hold your breath as she mashes everything into a slimy, stinky liquid. Not the most pleasant stuff, but I can assure you it beats growing lumps where no lumps should be. Speak for yourself, one can never have enough lumps. The nurse shrugs at you, sucking up the bubbling mixture into an oversized syringe. She gestures for you to hold out your arm. After stabbing into your flesh several times, she fails to find any veins with the point of the needle. Sorry, you seem to have strange physiology. Bah, give it here, I'll do it. You seize the injector and jab it into your arm without further fuss. A cool sensation climbs into your fingertips without any doubt the medicine will have any effect. You doubt the medicine will have any effect, but at least it should make the nurse happy. There, I feel much better. Can I go inside now? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. You should be immune to the plague for the time being. Just be quick. Leech is very busy. Okay, let's find the leech. The doctor slithers from one patient to another, checking off little boxes on a clipboard. From under her wide-brimmed hat, she appears to notice you enter, but pays you no mind. You must be the leech. I was hoping you could help me find one of your patients. Do you have any symptoms? Crackling of bones, oozing of eyes, skin rot, perhaps a yellow liver? Let's get you examined. The leech extends her toothy snout, prodding your body and searching for some hidden malignancy. You slap her away with a swift palm. If it's sickness you're looking for, you won't find it in me. My dear, we are all sick with something, whether it's a broken heart or an arm. We all suffer in one way or another. Excuse me. You peer through her tightly wrapped garments and see a deep darkness underneath. Despite the warmth in her words, there is a sense of hunger and urgency in her tone. I am here to heal, to mend, to put all of your troubles at ease. Now tell me, what ails you? I told you already, I'm in perfect health. I'm here to find someone, a man who came through here with a sprained ankle. Half the patients who come to me have a twisted this or a broken that. Excuse me. Before the pox sets in, that is. Can you be more specific? What did he look like? Oh, I'm not sure. Well then, how do you expect me to help you? Come back to me when you know who you're looking for. You look around the sick house at the coughing, wheezing, bedridden souls. Perhaps some of them will be able to identify the missing husband. There was a fellow with dark hair and dark eyes. It's the beardy guy you're looking for. You don't know where that short fellow got to? He's got a beard. He's short, dark hair, dark eyes. Darker complexion. Okay. Well, do you have a better idea of who you're looking for? Shorter than most. I'm gonna need a bit more than that. Darken features. Narrowing it down. Give me something else. Or full beard. Ah, yes, I remember the poor man. He came in with a swollen ankle, but on his journey through the swamp, he must have contracted the plague. His condition declined rapidly. I'm sorry to say, in the end, there wasn't much I could do for him, except make him comfortable. He's dead? What sort of sick house is this anyways? My condolences, really. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to doing what I can for the living. At least tell me where his wife might collect the body. The nurse outside seemed to be having trouble keeping track of them all. I'm sorry, that information is reserved for next of kin. Judging by your physique, I wouldn't say you were related to the deceased in the slightest. The doctor turns away from you to prepare vials of medicine. Better return to the old woman in the swamp with the bad news. So anyone have interesting plans for the holiday weekend? Ooh, I get to kick the snail. Kick the snail. Kick the snail with chicken feet. Do you have any news on my husband? He should have been back from the sick house by now. You bow your head in condolence. I'm sorry to say that your husband has passed away. The leech said he fell ill with the plague. Rather than grief, an expression of mild annoyance crosses the woman's face. Oh, what a nuisance. You don't seem to be that upset by the news. Well, he was getting on in years. It was bound to happen sooner or later. I just didn't think it would be from some measly plague, of all things. So, where is the fool now? I'm not sure. The leech wouldn't tell me. But her assistant mentioned having disposed of the dead out in the swamp. Ah, Brimstone and Bandersnatch. I know I'm already in your debt, sister, but can I ask you for another favor? I suppose I've already stuck my foot in this mess. What is it? There's an old circle of power just west of here. It served me well in my younger years, and I expect it's still got some juice left. I need you to dust it off and fire it up again. I'd go myself, but by the time I get there, my poor husband's body would already be reduced to warm farts. What am I to do with the circle? You're a knowledgeable lass. The engravings on the obelisks would explain the rest. I think I'm remembering this right. And it's down here. Which I need to get smoke bombs ready. Actually, before I do that. There we go. Okay, we're gonna need that. You brush off a blanket of thick moss and lichen from the magical pattern carved into the earth. The essence of power wakes at your touch, bringing a slight warmth to your fingertips. 4 black stone obelisks surround the ritual spot. You'll need to scrape off some of the overgrown decay to read the runic lettering engraved on the surfaces. The eastern obelisk yearns for the tooth of a dragon. You haven't seen any real dragons in years, but who knows out in the swamp? So we need a drake fang. The southern obelisk asks for a collection of bodily fluids to breathe new life into an unliving vessel. So we need apothecary humors for that one. So that's one I'll have to... Undead animations. Okay, so necromantic charm. And then the northern obelisk calls for proof of the dead. If the afterlife is nothing but bureaucratic, a death certificate from the Leech would fit the bill. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go up this way. I think the Drake is actually, you know what? So I'm at it. I might as well see what do I need for the apothec. R. Okay, I need blood, bug. I've got enough of that. Okay. I think this is the Drake over here. And we have to make a sacrifice. Okay, how do I make a sacrifice? I am going to need Sporific Potion, roast beef, and magic paste. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, make that. Wrap that. And moo juice and water. So I think I can get the water from over by the lady. So I'm just gonna go get the moo juice from the field. Like I said, this is a lot of going back and forth in this game. Field, I believe? Yep, that's the field. Okay. There's the phone. Got the juice. Got the water. I love her little chicken feet. I love those little chicken feet. Before I go any further, I need to look at that again. Okay. Oh, I still need to go back to there. Okay. Oh. Okay. So next thing I need to make is the apothecary humors, which I now have everything for that. Okay, so I need more blood. Okay. Let's go find one more bloodsucker. And that was not what I needed. Okay. What the heck is going on here? I need to find another mosquito. Maybe over here? Okay, got that. So I just need to go. Back to the fields and go see the pumpkin guy. You gotta be kidding me. Still need more blood. Okay. Rock slime and clay. So, gotta go up to the forest and dig some fires out there. Wish there's a way that she could run faster. Yeah, I I need places I can dig, not fires. I hate to say what it sounds like he's doing. Hey, where's my dig spots? I need some dig spots. I need some clay. Ooh, the well. That's where there should be some. Okay. Okay. Okay, just need to pick up some frog guts. Catch the frog. See if I can get any more frogs from down here. Okay. One more. No frog. It's frog guts I need. Yeah, frog slime. Sorry. Not frog guts, frog slime. I think the hardest thing that's going to be for me to get is going to be the death certificate. Let's go back and get some more froggies. Gonna need that salt. Come back here, froggy. Okay, let's go find some more bloodsuckers. Do this way first. Wait, what do I need? Oh, necromantic charm. Okay. Okay, so 3 out of the 4, not bad. The shadowy doctor prowls amongst the cots, eyes the weakest patients with dark hunger. She snaps a quivering tentacle at you as you approach. Not a step closer, who knows what sort of disgusting maladies you might be carrying. Yes, I'm a pox-ridden wretch, I know, but I need a death certificate from you. Specifically of the short, bearded man we spoke about. His wife is in no condition to roll her chair through the swamp, so she asked me to collect it for her. I don't simply give out death certificates to anyone claiming to be someone's aunt, grandmother, or friend. This is a legitimate operation. She turns her back to you and rummages through a nearby medical closet. Now, where has that serum got to? Don't tell me we're already out. What's the matter? Out of stock? It's a shame you don't have time to go out yourself. She tenses at your continued presence. What are you getting at? Medicine for the death certificate? I think that's a fair trade, don't you? You would barter when people's lives are on the line? Fine. You'll have your paperwork, you filthy degenerate. Okay, you're clearly too angry to speak with you. She shoves a list of required medical supplies into your hand. Okay. Ooh, I got all but one of them. I'm not leaving myself short-handed, so... There we go. Give her 3 of those. Leech stuffs the poultice into an unsanitary-looking cabinet without a second glance. Okay, now we give her the dragonflies. Leech takes the wings with a surprisingly delicate touch and lays them out carefully along the surface of a clear shelf. Okay. The Leech inspects the barbs before placing each one of them carefully into a velvet-lined container along the excruciating-looking instruments. I've run your errands, now I really must insist on that death certificate. There's no need to get prickly, I have your papers right here. The Leech extends her moist arm and thrusts a poorly written note into your hands. You shake the mucus from the paper, try to decipher the loopy, illegible scribbles. See, even in games, doctors have bad handwriting. You're not even sure that the Leech spelled the poor man's name right, but you suppose it's better than nothing. Next time I need a doctor's note, I'm better off forging the signature myself. Take it. Okay. Now we gotta go to the obelisks and give all the items there. Grab some more of the stuff that I need. Necromantic charm. You place the token of undeath into the basin. It flutters like a candle for a moment before the shadowy umbra of the obelisk snuffs itself out. Okay. Death certificate. The humid swamp air has made the paper of the death certificate soft and damp. As you drop it into the bowl, it decomposes before your eyes until nothing is left. Okay, we're doing the Drake Fang. You drop the sharp reptilian fang into the stone basin with a heavy clunk. It spins like a top, emitting a high-pitched whine before shattering into fine white dust. Okay, apothecary humors. You fill the bowl with an offering of anatomic liquids. The fluid slowly disappears as if being drained by some unseen thirst until only the wet residue remains. With the final offering accepted, the obelisk surrounding the circle begins to hum. You can hear a strange melody playing through the discordant tones. The carvings on the ground burn with renewed energy, driving away overgrowth. You're quick to step away as you feel a vacuous force pull at the circle center. I suppose that's done the trick. Let's see what the writing has to say for itself now. You rotate your head to read the glowing letters on the edge of the circle. Place the vessel of the deceased. Yada yada. Recite the evocation of necrodermis. Blah blah. Apply the canopic ointment. Right. Seems straightforward enough. All I need to do now is fetch the body of that poor husband. He should be here in the swamp somewhere. Okay, search the swamp. I think he is up here. Hookity. Ugh, this must be where the nurse has been dumping the surplus of corpses. I'll need to take a closer look at each one to find the right fellow. So, not him. Similar, perhaps, but not the right body. This one isn't right either. Not the husband. Powerful. Okay, so none of those were the husband. I think. I think I have one more to check. Not him. Check that. Oh, there it is. Not this one. Where on earth is that stinking body? You'd think I'd be able to find him among the dead here. You watch as a particularly bloated fly lands on a rotting hand poking out from the muck. Its disgusting viscous probes at it withered flesh. Two globular red eyes slowly unglue themselves and swivel to boggle at the insect. A huge slime-covered tongue lashes out and pulls the hapless fly into a gaping, toothless maw along with most of the sunken corpse. Well, I suppose that explains where my misplaced man went. Okay, what am I going to give him? I think I need to give him these. And I don't have enough. Dang it. Okay, first things first, I'm going to talk to him. Croak, can it be? Has a lovely young morsel wandered into my palace? You call this filthy bog a palace? He throws his head back, shaking the swamp with burbling laughter. Smaller frogs and newts scurry out of the way to avoid being crushed by the enormous bulk. Har har har. Wouldn't you? The place is a veritable bounty of insects, and my subjects have such healthy appetites. They will all grow big and strong. I'd eat you too, but that head of yours looks much too hard. I prefer my food, burp, to be nice and tender. Look, you wouldn't perchance have seen an old man pass through here, have you? About yay high, full beard, deadish. The frog taps his finger against the log, grinning an impossibly large grin. Oh yes, I do believe I've seen the chap. He had such a delectable aroma, and fall off the bone ribs. But I'm sorry to say that once something goes down the hatch, it never sees the light of day again. We'll see about that. I'm sure I can come up with some just desserts for you. The frog rolls his eyes around as if daring you to try something. I was right, digestive tablets. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna need that. And I gotta get... Bugger. Leave me alone. Damn you. Okay, we're gonna go somewhere else to get it. Somewhere where those damn mosquitoes are not. Nope, nothing. Okay. You wrap a juicy-looking grub around the medicinal talus and offer it to the Frog King. Your Majesty, I really must find the whereabouts of the gentleman. Perhaps this small tribute will persuade you to loosen your tongue. The frog gulps down the tantalizing meal without a thought. A delectable gift. Thank you, my pretty. Now, I already told you where. His nostrils flare for a moment. Okay, warning, he's about to puke. Then sneezes, sending specks of wet mucus flying. The frog's throat suddenly expands, filling with gas. The belch that erupts from its lips resonates so loudly that the entire swamp ceases its buzzing. You avert your eyes, but the noise and the smell of the frog's explosive eruption almost knock you off your feet. Great Gilda's ghost. What a stench. Sorry, Great Glinda's ghost. What a stench. The frog wobbles on its legs, looking thoroughly emptied. He teeters before rolling his huge body back into the swamp with a thunderous splash. You spot the slippery body of the husband floating in the bog water. Luckily, he seems to be missing some bits and pieces, so he should fold up quite nicely. Pretty bad that you can stuff somebody in your satchel. The corpse there. With considerable effort, you unfold the husband's decaying body from your satchel and slap it down in the middle of the circle. Invisible shackles wrap around the corpse's limb and pull its spread eagle against the ground. Strange mist rises from the obelisk, casting everything into a sickening green light. I cannot read. Slowly but surely, the corpse begins to levitate off the ground. It rotates to face each obelisk one by one. Oh, get on with it. I haven't got all day. You give the rotting head a good kick as it passes by you. With a gasp of stale air, the body drops to the ground. Suddenly, it bolts upright. Gug. Okay. Speak to the zombie husband. Well, hello there. Yeah. You caused me a lot of trouble. You know that? The reanimated corpse claws at his throat. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a moment. Near your feet, you see a disembodied tongue flopping around the ground like a worm. You scoop it up and quickly toss it into the man's gaping mouth. Though he moves his jaw, and his lurching voice seems to emanate from somewhere beyond. Murderer! What? I am not. You were quite dead when I found you. No, Leech murdered me. He clutches at his hollow chest, as if trying to feel his beating heart. Gave me plague, drained my blood. Leech murdered others. He swings a limp arm towards the body-filled bog. I knew there was something awfully stinky about the sick house. What's or the doctor infects her own patients? Check her office. Find proof. Don't you worry. I'll make sure that parasite gets what's coming to her. But you should head back home. Your wife is worried half to death about you. He turns and looks longingly over his shoulder. You can hear his vertebrae popping. Yes, I late. As he shambles into the choking mist, he gives you a crooked nod of thanks. Okay. Back to the sick house. Run, 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 run. Run, run, run as fast as you can on your little chicken feet. While the leech is busy with her patients, you rifle through the contents of various cabinets in her office. Mostly dried herbs and potions. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. That is until you notice a suspicious-looking bookcase set against the wall. All the books are fake, just chopped-down spines glued to a solid plank. Your fingers race across the medical titles and quickly find a loose volume. With a click of a switch, the whole bookcase swings open to reveal a secret compartment. I want a bookcase like that. Your heart jumps at the sight. Racks upon racks of bottled blood are arranged like fine wines. Each vessel meticulously catalogs the name, description, and age of its source. It looks like that thirsty slug's been sapping the living for years. On a nearby table, you spy a decanter half filled with a ruby red liquid. You wonder whose blood it contains. A dash of salt would remind the slimy worm that there's worse things out there than bloodsuckers. Okay, I should have... Oh, I gotta make that. Okay. You sprinkle a generous amount of embalming salts collected from the graves of the Leech's victims into the decanter. As the salt dissolves into the bloody cocktail, you hear the telltale squelching of the good doctor's approach. What are you doing? Can't you see that this is my private office? I already helped you enough, so there's no reason you ought to be here. She hastily shuffles you out of the room. Now get out. This place is only for the sick. You're certainly right about that. You walk just out of sight before doubling back to hide behind a withered, wet bouquet. You peer at the vexed Leech as she slithers around her office, checking every cabinet and locker for tampering. She mutters something expletive about nosy old women. Satisfied, she sighs with relief and reaches to pour herself a glass from the tainted decanter. That addition of black fever adds a certain nutty quality. Maybe it will pair well with an infusion of peat moss palsy in the next batch. She takes a sip, waiting just a moment before throwing her head back and guzzling it all down. Lovely, sharp flavor, full body too. Suddenly, the Leech snaps to her attention. Her limbs dart out, withering with uncontrollable gestures. She stabilizes herself against the table with sweat pools on her brow. The decanter shatters against the floor in an explosion of glass. What's happening? The Leech spasms as tendrils of ghostly spirits begin to suck the moisture from her body. You watch as she dwindles in size, shrinking like some horrible raisin. And there we go. You inspect the mummified worm, pressing it between your fingers lightly. Drained by the very spirits she was supposed to be healing. In your fingertips you make out the faintest heartbeats, the soul of the Leech. So we collected the souls of the bear, leech, snake, and ox jostle in the satchel with fearful energies. That's that then. I better get these back home to the goat before he ransacks the rest of my place. taking the quick way home. Time to go home. Oh, I timed that pretty good. The goat rears its head at the sight of you. Its hooves pound the ground excitedly. Most excellent! I can sense the presence of the spirits about you. You must have captured the souls I have asked for. No small task, I can tell you that. Just what do you plan on doing with them? Oh, this and that. Nothing you must concern yourself with. What's important is that you are one step closer to fulfilling your contract with me. Just go ahead and place them in the shrine there. I'll take care of the rest. The goat shakes its head towards a carved relief at the back of the room, grinning in a horrible way that no goat should. Add the stuffed bear. As you bring the stuffed bear close to the carved stone relief in the wall, it spontaneously bursts into flames in your hands, burning away until only a harsh red stone remains. The stone zips out of your grasp and straight into the socket on the wall, buzzing like some angry insect. You are buffeted by flashes of the bear's wrath, drunken, cowering bodies, splintered wood, the smell of honey. As with the first, the mummified husk of the leech turns to ash and you bring it close to the wall, leaving only a glowing orb in its place. Images of the leech slithering into your mind, the prick of the needle, the drip, drip, drip of draining fluids, soothing words, restless sleep. Prismatic colors flash through your head at the thought of the snake, secrets lapped up by a forked tongue, whispers beneath the sound of festivities. The ox brings with him the overbearing heat of the midday sun, the salty tang of the sweet sweat in the soil, suffering, sacrifice, solitude. You step away from the shrine and its smoldering stones. Your burden suddenly feels much lighter. Beside you, the sleeping maiden stirs in her slumber, but does not wake. Now then, you've had a very long day. Why don't you get some rest? Tomorrow we shall pick up bright and early. Yes, I am quite tired. All right. So I'm going to find out. We're going to talk to the goat, and that's probably going to be it for the night. I will be back on tomorrow morning around 11:30 to do Sims Crossing, is what I'm going to call the series. Ah, good morning, my swamp lily. I trust you slept well. Like the dead. You stretch out your back, making a sound like snapping twigs. Well, no time to dilly-dally. I sense the next 4 souls on our list. You must travel east, out of the forest and towards civilization. Ugh, I hate crowds. Well, it can't be helped. You must seek out those souls in the village, the market, the docks, and the graveyard. The graveyard might at least be a reprieve from chattering townsfolk. All right, goat, I'll bring you your souls. You seem much more reasonable today. Have a change of heart, perchance? If these next 4 are anything like the last, they'll get what's coming to them. I'm glad we have reached an understanding. So, next Thursday, we will be streaming again on Wytchwood. We'll be doing part 3, and we will be collecting the souls of the cat, the rat, the fish, and the ram. Not all in one, but I have a feeling we'll probably get to 2 of them in the next, and then 2 more in the last one. So again, I will be back tomorrow playing Sims Crossing. We're going to start creating the characters. So imagine the Animal Crossing characters as humans. And then we are going on Saturday, we're going to be creating the unit scientific building. Unit being United Nations Intelligence Task Force building on Todd's island of Gallifrey. And then next week, we are streaming Tuesday. We're going to be doing finishing up the cafe in The Sims. Wednesday, we are actually going to be streaming Dreamlight Valley. And then Thursday, we'll be back here for Wytchwood. I will not be streaming next Saturday. Todd and I are going to be spending the day together. I'm going to be taking 1 or 2 Saturdays off a month just to spend time with my husband. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and we are going to end the stream here. I thank you guys. Last chance, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Since I am off work, I will be Poppy is streaming tomorrow morning. So I don't know what I think she is at least. And if you guys have not already subscribed to Poppy, please go over and visit her. She is a very sweet lady. So I will see you